Hello, this is your Digi Daddy, and I am here today with a red-purple Imperialdramon deck list. This is kind of one of my pet projects that I've wanted to work on for a while, but I've just had a lot of other decks that I'm working on, and so this one right now is something that I'm going to be working on for a while, because when the combo pops off, oh my goodness does it freaking pop off. So let's just get right into the deck list, and I'll explain some of my choices and some stuff that I think I'm going to change. So first we're going to start with 4 Digimon eggs. I like this one just because it's classic. It's actually, the egg is a bit cheaper right now, and yeah, when on deletion, draw one, trash one. So it's really good because it allows you to draw one of your draw a card, and then you can trash one of your level 4s or your level 5s, which is really helpful, especially for the combo that you need to pull off. Next, we're going to go into 4 copies of BT3, or just the old Impmon on deletion, trash 3. I'm playing around with kind of the milling aspect of this deck, because you do want to mill some stuff, but because it is so crucial to have all your pieces together in the right time, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So I'm working on it. Really, you just need to make sure that you have your level 3s, so you can go up your level 4s, and then up into your level 5s, and then your dragon mode. Those are really the pieces that you need to really get this deck going. So I'm playing around with it. I might do 2 of like this purple Impmon, and then 2 reds, just because if you don't see your Vmon or any of your rookies, it really messes up a lot of stuff that you're doing. Next, we're going to do 4 copies of this EX3 Wormmon. This Wormmon is great. You can reveal top 3, grab a free, trash a free, and then put the rest at the bottom of the deck. It's really great searcher. It's great. Next, we're doing 4 copies of the EX3 Vmon. It is the red Vmon. It is on play. You can trash a free in its traits or an Imperial in its name, and then be able to draw 2. Really great, especially if you're drawing that. And then yeah, you trash it, set up your plays. Next, we're doing 4 copies of the EX3 Flamemon, and then 4 copies of the EX3 Shadramon. I decided to talk about these together mainly because they both have the exact same effect within their when digivolving, but really it's when digivolving. You can do a couple effects, but the one that you want to focus on is digivolving your other level 3 into level 4, and then at the end of your turn you can DNA digivolve, which leads into your level 5s, which leads into your level 6s, which leads into you basically doing a ton of damage with piercing all at once. So making sure you have these 2 pieces out on the board at the same time, or have the opportunity to put them out on the board at the same time, is crucial to the strategy of this. And that's one of the biggest problems with this deck, is that if you do not have all the pieces right at the right time, it is going to be slow. It is going to basically just brick and be one of the worst decks. But if you have your pieces and get up into at least your dragon mode, you are going to do a lot of damage, have a lot of fun with it. But when you don't get that combo off, I'll just be honest, it sucks. It feels like the worst deck ever because you can't do much. Next, we're going to 2 copies of Eismon Scatter Mode. It's basically, the joke, the Eismon with jamming, because on deletion, you get to draw 2 and then trash 2. And a lot of times when you're attacking security with it does not die. It's the Eismon with jamming. It's pretty funny, but yeah, I like to run 2 copies of these. It's really good for this deck. Again, the drawing and then trashing, you can really set up your plays. Next, we're doing 4 copies of the EX3 Dinobemon and the EX4 Imperialdramon. These are your DNA Digivolution cards, and they have really good inheritables. Dinobemon allows you inheritable to attack your opponent unsuspended Digimon, and then Imperialdramon gives you security +1. So this is really where you get a lot of your power. And then, because of the end of turn DNA Digivolve from the what are their names? Flamedramon and Shadramon, you are able to also DNA Digivolve up into a dragon mode if you have it. And it's really, you can literally go from a level 3 all the way up into your level 6 with just 1 play. It's actually really insane when it works out. Next, we're going into level 6s, and then level 7. We are doing 3 copies of Imperialdramon Dragon Mode and 3 copies of Imperialdramon Fighter Mode. Yeah, Fighter Mode Black. I made a mistake. I should have 4 copies of Imperialdramon Dragon Mode and only 2 copies of Fighter Mode. Without your Dragon Mode, your combo literally stops and it gives your opponent the opportunity to steamroll you or just end it right there if you don't have the right pieces. So I'm going to be switching that to actually 4 copies of Dragon Mode and only 2 copies of Fighter Mode. Fighter Mode is the kind of, I kind of see it as like a like a level 7, basically, because it just helps finish off your combo, because you really don't need to do it, but it gives you that piercing and it really helps finish off the combo. And if you're not DNA Digivolving and using the reduced Digivolution cost on this, it costs a lot to play this deck, so you really want to make sure you have your pieces so that you're DNA Digivolving and basically saving yourself a bunch of memory. But the Dragon Mode is when you Digivolve, you can have your opponent choose one of their Digimon, then all the rest of their Digimon get destroyed, and then you get Blitz, and then when attacking, you can Digivolve into your Fighter Mode for a cost of 2. So even if because you have that Blitz, when you're attacking, after you've ended your turn, you can Digivolve into that Fighter Mode, get that piercing, and then with your Fighter Mode, you Digivolve into it for a cost of 2. With your Fighter Mode, you're able to get piercing, so you're able to attack and then get those security checks, but also you can take out your Dragon Mode and then all of your opponent's security options just do not work. Does not matter if they are a tamer, an option, does not matter. The security effects are null. They do not go off, which if you're hitting for 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 checks with the other cards that we run, that really hurts them, and then the next game you can just go in and finish game or whatever. So it's a fantastic combo when it pops off. Next, and again, I'm going to switch it up to 4 copies of Dragon Mode and then 2 copies of Fighter Mode. Next, we're going to do 2 copies of Omnimon Blitz. Omnimon, fantastic finisher. Digivolves on top of it because it is on top of either of your level 6s because they are red, and it's a good finisher for the game. I like running 2 copies because you really want to see them. So even if you don't have the Fighter Mode, you can go into the Blitz Omni if you have the opportunity. So next we're doing onto the Tamers. We're doing 2 copies of Tai Kamiya, the security +1 memory tamer. Tai Kamiya is really great because if you are in your Fighter Mode or your Dragon Mode, you are a red Digimon and you get that extra bonus to your security. And you are for sure, unless something with like fighting blue happens or whatever, you're for sure going to have at least 4 Digivolution sources, so you are going to get that security +1. Next we're doing 2 copies of Analog Youth. Analog Youth is great because it searches any Digimon and then trashes them, which goes along with the archetype itself. And when a level 5 or higher dies, you can suspend it to hatch an egg and gain a memory, I think. And it's a good, solid card, especially because you are essentially kind of trying to get your stack to die because it gets retaliation. And also you can play out Wormmon and Vmon once the Fighter Mode dies. So if your Digimon does die, it's actually not the end because you can just keep making those plays the next turn if you have the right setup. Next, into option cards, I'm running 2 copies of Fire Rocket, 1 copy of Calling from the Darkness, 3 copies of Deathslinger, and 2 copies of Mist Memory Boost. Fire Rocket is great because it gives your 2 or more colors security +1. I remember there was a game that will be linked below with a friend where I had my Fighter Mode out and then I Fire Rocketed and I think I got 4 or 5 checks basically, and I was able to take him out the next turn, and it was fantastic. And so I might bump it up to 3 copies of Fire Rocket just because even if you don't get your level 6, you can Fire Rocket onto your Imperialdramon or Dino Beamon, and that would be really helpful, really awesome. Next, like I said, 1 copy of Calling from the Darkness, really good, especially if you need to pull something from the trash. The Deathslinger, I'm probably going to take out Deathslinger just because I'm not milling too much as if it were like a Beelzemon deck. So I'm probably going to take out the Deathslinger just because it didn't do anything like I thought it would. I'm going to do more testing, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be really helpful. It is a good destruction option on your opponents just because take it at level 4. You probably won't have 10 cards in the trash unless you've already gone through your combo, but at that point, you're not going to really need it anyways. So I'll probably replace it with like a Crimson Blaze or something else, just because Hunters is a powerful deck. It's going to continue to be a powerful deck, and they have a lot of lower level guys. Next, 2 copies of Mist Memory Boost. Mist Memory Boost is good because you trash 2 and then you draw 1. This is kind of a milling type of option for this deck, and like I said, I might take it out just for like a purple memory boost, because I really do want to get that search. But we'll see. I feel like this deck, it needs a bit more searching options, because the only searchers you really get are cards where you draw or cards where you're actually searching, like with the Wormmon. So I'm thinking it needs more searchers, so that way you have a bit more consistency with your cards and you actually see your pieces. So I might take that out and replace it with a purple memory boost, and probably just a purple, because except for the Flamedramon and Vmon, most of your cards are purple, have purple in them, and so I'm probably going to do that. But that's the deck list. Yeah, I'm definitely going to change up some of the ratios, and probably add 2 more rookies. That way I can actually see the rookies. There was one game where I literally didn't see 1 rookie, or I saw only 1 rookie, and that was a massive problem that really set me back. So if I can get those rookies out, and then make sure I can search for those level 5s and the dragon mode, this deck will be more consistent, and I think definitely a lot better. So this is like kind of like my pet project, something that I saw on Card Protagonist and was just like, that's insane. And it is insane if you get the combo. So yeah. I recently did a collaboration with Nightcore TCG. He will be in the description, and the link to this battle will be in the description, where I used this deck. And you can kind of see the power of it within that first game. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.